Today we are at with the mine about 51.7% complete, and that means that we're ahead of schedule, heading towards September 2015 first ore on ship. We've got 3,800 people on site, which means that we have an employment of about 5,000 people directly associated with site activities.
Which makes this what in the scheme of construction going on?
In terms of scheme of construction, we're the last of the mining boom, in the sense of there aren't any other major projects heading towards the rate of capacity or the expend that we are. So we are basically the largest mining project operating in Western Australia and probably Australia. The ore body was first taken up by our chairman, Mrs. Reinhardt, in 1992, so it's been a long time coming. But essentially we completed the feasibility study about 4 and a bit years ago, and since we finished the bankable feasibility study, we've worked very hard to get equity and then achieve quite a groundbreaking financing deal with export credit agencies and banks. This mine is based on the long run iron ore price. If you look at what the independent experts and independent forecasters are doing, this project is very viable at the long run iron ore price. The long run iron ore price has been forecast to be lower than what it is today for quite a number of periods. So there's nothing in the current pricing which would cause any reasons for us to disbelieve the long run iron ore price is still valid and that we remain viable and will be competitive. Well, I think the key point about it is it's a $10 billion project, and there's a very large amount of that has been spent in Australia and a very large amount of that has been spent in Western Australia. So the impact on Australian industry in terms of goods and services is very large. In terms of the short-term construction phase, obviously we'll have about 4,500 people on site at peak, which will be about 6,000 people employed, so a significant impact in employment in the construction phase. Operational phase, you need to think about 2,000 people for 20 years, so that's 40,000 person years of work. So it's a project which will give us and our children jobs, and so therefore it has a long run impact. And then 55 million tonnes a year, say at even $100 a tonne, it's $5.5 billion a year of income into Australia in terms of foreign exchange.
Hello.
Mrs. Reinhardt, welcome to the site.
Thank you. And congratulations on being ahead of schedule. I think that's an inspiration to the whole rest of the team.
Certainly is. Certainly
Congratulations.
is.
You're at a really important time, 50%. But what was so exciting, we're here for the 50% milestone, but what was so exciting for me today is to hear Portworks are beating the schedule. And we're up to 66% on the marine, the pilings that are going in right now. So to be ahead of schedule is terrific. One, it's great for morale, but two, I think it's great for the whole project to know it can be done. We can beat our FOOS for next year. It means some of the obvious things, or what to me are very obvious. It means sustainable employment. This is a real project. It means looking after, doing some assistance towards revenue for Australia. Australia's in record debt. This is really bad news for us that we're in record debt. So projects like this one are ones that help pay back that debt. They're ones that help pay for essential services, be it for the defence, be it for hospitals, be it for the elderly. It helps to pay for these essential services. Without projects like this, we can't have the level of services that Australia wants. And this really is a project Australia can be proud of. It's going to be one of the biggest iron ore mines in Australia. It's also one of the largest in the world. It's all happening in Australia. If I die tomorrow, the project's here. It keeps employing Australians. And it's not just the project that employs, it's the related businesses. I mean, even lawyers are employed. Law offices around Australia, thanks to the mining industry and even thanks to Roy Hill. Accountants are employed, tax advisors are employed. People just think, oh, but the mining industry employs so few people. Rubbish. It employs, the related industries. And this is part of the reasons it's so powerful a story that mining is so important for Australia. And it's very important for our future. We're a country right now, as many of us know, in record debt. We've got to earn revenue to pay back the record debt. we've got to earn some revenue so that we can pay for our elderly. You know, we have to pay for our elderly. We should pay for our elderly. You know, we need to pay for our defence and their families and the defence when they retire. And this we can only do. We can only pay for decent hospitals and decent equipment if we actually have the revenue happening. And this is why we need our mining industry. Mining's not a dirty word. It's an essential word. And all those people screaming it's a dirty word, I don't see their hands going up and saying words to the effect, well, you know, I want to give that person a job. You know, I'm taking it out of the mining industry, I'm taking it out of the related industries. I want to play everybody here. I don't see all these hands going up saying, we'll give you other jobs. It ain't happening. And, you know, it's just one of those things why mining is so important. To finance this project has been the largest mainland mining resource financing project in the world. So we're talking about a big amount of money has gone in to make possible what we're beginning to see today. But firstly, I'm sorry, it's only recently using that money. It's been ourselves and our partners who have dished into their pockets and contributed almost all that you see today, because we're only just tapping into what we were very grateful to raise on from banks and 5 ECAs. I hope the government gets rid of MRRT, because one of the things Australia has to learn and appreciate is that for us to export, people are not going to buy the products because they're like Australians, forget it. They're only going to buy the products if we remain commercially competitive, cost competitive. And this is a really big challenge for Australia because we've got very high costs. And we've really got to work harder from that if we want to sustain our future and have a good future. There's a rationale about that. It's not about making Gina richer or anything stupid and short-sighted like that. It's about making our country sustainable in the world markets. We can't afford the MRRT, and also try and keep our costs down and be cost competitive. We can't live on the sheep's back anymore. That industry's almost gone for us. We've got to live on other industries.
What we're looking at here is the drive station of the overland conveyor. So the overland conveyor starts over near that crane over there, which you can see over in the distance.
Those two?
Yep, oh, that one, the big one there, yep. And then comes across, that's the drive station, and then continues out over the water where it turns left and goes up into your wharf. So from where we were before,
Yes.
that continues on the overland and actually turns up and runs along here and ties into this, what's called the transfer station. And then it goes out along our marine wharf to berth.
I got you. This section is 66%.
Excellent. That's right.
Okay, so
That's hot off the print today. Yes. Pardon? I think you might have.
my side, the same thing. I don't normally drink on site either.
Yeah, no, see that's second cut.
So right there.
And I imagine, yeah. And they have to say the please.
Yeah, that's right. It's fine.
And I imagine, yeah. And they have to say the please.
Yeah, that's right. It's fine.
Quite good. So anywhere here, I'd imagine.
Firing the shot.